Hello, myself Sunil. Here basically we are discussing the topic that is textbook. In this basically we are discussing one topic of one person whose name is Gayatri. And in front of world basically he is as a Maharashtrian basically. But he is 100% not Maharashtrian because the creation of his only basically say that basically he is not Maharashtrian. So he mostly might be Muslim basically. So here basically the topic which we are discussing is one of the person told that the Lal Bahadur Shastri, Sayajirao, Sardar Patel, their age basically might be what basically? So one person told that their age might be 300, 200, 400. Chhatrapati Shivaji age might be more than 500, 600, more than basically. So Gaikwad basically given the birth to Chhatrapati Shivaji. So what might be his age? So his age basically 100% might be more than 1000, not more than 1000 basically. It might be more than 30,000, 40,000 year age. Why? Because I will tell you. Because Vadodara is created by him only. And there is one temple basically of Mahakali basically in Pavagad. Pavagad is one area basically near Vadodara city. It basically comes to Vadodara only basically. Its age basically of the temple itself is more than 5 lakh year. So it's more than 5 lakh year age is the temple's age. And Vadodara city created by Gayakwad. That basically the people says. So one of the person told that कहीं ऐसा तो नहीं है the Sayajira Gayakwad basically is connected with Sri Ram Parivar, that is the Sri Ram and Sri Hanuman Parivar basically, because this Parivar also basically exists somewhere. This family also basically exists. So their age basically might be what basically, because this type of creation basically starts from here only basically. Lots of people says that Ravan basically mummy is basically dumped into the Sri Lanka basically, right? But lots of people says that periodically that mummy basically gets out and human clone basically are done of that mummy and that basically mummy do certain level of task also basically. So the Ravan basically comes in front of you also basically sometime. Ravan body basically with the human cloning concept basically. So Ram Ramayana basically it's a very old story basically. So Gayakwad basically his age basically might be 20,000, 30,000, but this story is ongoing since more than 1 lakh 2 lakh year old basically. And Mahakali temple is also basically created 5 lakh year old basically. So 5 lakh before basically the temple was created. So the Vadodara city basically creation basically might have started long before, that is 5 lakh year before only, because that temple basically was created 5 lakh year before basically. That means one of the person told that Gayakwad basically just 20,000, 30,000, but certain level of people basically are more than that age also. So Sir Sayajirao Gayakwad age basically is 30,000 minimum basically I'm telling. And Mahakal temple basically age is more than 5 lakh year old. So one of the person told that here basically are one of the person told that the creation of this type of creation basically started when basically this type of creation basically started when. So one person told this type of creation basically might have started long before basically 5 lakh year before only basically this might have started. And before this basically topic, I will take one more example basically. For example, one Hindu person basically, he's taking the breath basically, right? Breath means SARS basically. He takes the breath. That is coming from which person basically? Which religion basically? Few people say that Christian. Few people say that Christian breath basically is coming from breath means oxygen basically. The people basically takes the oxygen that is coming from Muslim group basically. And Muslim groups basically breathe basically that is the oxygen basically of their body that comes from Hindu body basically. So this is basically one chain basically. So this chain basically connects to Hanuman group, Muhammad Pagambar Parivar. They also basically 100% might have exist somewhere because history never ends. That is the rule of this world basically. Somewhere basically history exists. Few people says that people basically dies now basically. They are Samshan Bhumi basically the Asthi basically that are used in cement basically. So history never ends. His body still exists somewhere. That people says basically whether it is correct that basically don't know. But body once created that will never end. So one of the person told that I want to finish that person generation. As if that was somebody told that basically अरे यार इसको तो हम नौकरी भी नहीं देंगे और कुछ भी नहीं करेंगे इसकी जनरेशन को ही खत्म कर देंगे. So one person told that we have finished Sunil or Nair generation. So how they might have finished it? They told that basically we had done the Nasbandi of Sunil basically. Just taking an example, basically. And really basically nothing has happened. So this would be the answer basically of one person basically. Because if my body basically will generate, for example, second my basically second marriage happened. In that second marriage basically I got two child. So that two child also will start the generation basically. So somebody is basically not giving the money only to me. That means they are telling that basically we are going to kill you basically. So one of the person told that why basically they are doing like this basically. Then one of the person told that you basically tracked this whole thing basically. That is text box, Sayajirao Gaikwad, Chhatrapati Shivaji, not terminal, Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, Mahatma Gandhi still exist. Their body basically still exists with some other faces. Subhash Chandra Bose still exists with some other faces. So whenever basically assume that basically Subhash Chandra Bose basically is in Europe and he basically comes to India. So his body entered in India through airport. So that airport basically immediately tracks that basically that Subhash Chandra Bose has arrived in India. But normal person basically can't track. Why? Because he is looking like a normal person basically. In front of the world basically he is already died. So that's why basically the text box plays very dangerous role here. Text box equal to thousand cities and thousand cities basically Subhash Chandra Bose role is also there and he enters into that city. The story is like this. He entered into the India's country basically. In India country basically he entered into as in that basically Surat, Ahmedabad or Vadodara city. He entered into this. And Vadodara city is one of the part of text box. So now what is basically going to be happen? What power supply basically the text box is going to generate? This whole thing basically was supposed to check basically. This all basically was supposed to check basically, but it has not checked basically. So here basically the question is the same thing basically. Text box thing was not checked, if condition was not checked, for loop condition was not checked. For loop is basically is getting power supply from 1000 cities. 500 city only basically sends the condition, sends the power supply data. Rest of city basically not send. So what will happen? This whole thing basically are there. So in next video we are going to see a little bit more about this topic.